is we do attendance telethons where we identify the top 150 to 200 kids that are struggling with attendance. We bring together volunteers and staff members to make telephone calls to those families in support of improving their child's attendance, ways in which that we can support them. We want to know more about what the barriers are that are preventing those kids from coming to schools and how we can help them develop a plan around attendance.
And it all started, we were having a barbecue a couple of years ago, and somebody said, we should make a movie, and that's how simple it started. We all got together the next picnic we had, and in between the burgers and the drinks and everything, we would run in and we would shoot our little scene in the garage, and then we would run out again, and then the next people would come in. And that's how we got started. So basically my family all decided that we were going to make movies, and then they used me because they knew I knew how to do it.
I'm a resource to, students, teachers, staff members, or whatever, if they have questions about anything, obviously law enforcement related, but life, just somebody to talk to if they feel like they can't talk to somebody else, then that's what I do.
I'm Kasim Wilhite.
I'm Diego Munoz.
I'm Ethan Atkins.
I'm Wes De Leon.
I am Mathiana LaRose. These are the story tonight's on 20 Minutes. Welcome back to 20 Minutes, your dive into the stories shaping our campus. Today we're peeling back the curtain to meet the dedicated people who keep our school running, from the classes to the top office. Starting from the classes, one in particular, part of the CTE program that brings inspiration, everything you're watching, the camera work, the editing, the storytelling, is a product of our fantastic TV media program. From the set to the control room, this school is buzzing with hands-on creativity. Who better to talk about harnessing that energy than the person guiding the next generation of content creators? Let's go behind the lens now to chat with our very own Mr. Riti, who teaches us how to make it all happen.
Today we're meeting with North Stafford's TV and media teacher, Mr. Tom Riti, and he'll be telling us about how he and his family makes movies, how they started, and what made him interested in the job.
My name is Tom Riti, and I'm the TV and media production teacher at North Stafford High School.
All right, let's get into these questions. What made you want to start teaching others about,
I used to I took a TV course, actually it was a radio course that I took in college, but it was a combination of radio, and we just started getting into using video. They had bought an old black and white video switcher, and at the time it was a Sony, and that was state of the art, and I just became fascinated by that, and also by the professor who was teaching the course, and I said, wow, I want to be like him. And so the opportunity came up to teach, and I jumped at it, and I've been doing it now for 14, 15 years and absolutely love it.
Mr. Riti's teacher introduced him to the world of media and inspired him to become a great teacher like he was. Now that he acquired the skills to produce movies, let's hear about how he and his family make their own movies. How did your family get into making home movies?
Okay, well, my family is a little weird, and it all started, we were having a barbecue a couple of years ago, and somebody said, we should make a movie, and that's how simple it started. And so we said, okay, so they assigned me the task of writing a script. So I wrote a really dumb little script about a guy that's out there looking for aliens from outer space or something. And we all got together the next picnic we had, and in between the burgers and the drinks and everything, we would run in and we would shoot our little scene in the garage, and then we would run out again, and then the next people would come in. And that's how we got started. So basically my family all decided that we were going to make movies, and then they used me because they knew I knew how to do it.
These passion project movies have become a long family activity for the Ritis, and it could take days or even months to just produce a simple short film. Let's take a look at how long it really takes to write out and film a short movie with his family. What's the production time that it takes for you to make one of your home movies?
Okay, well, all right, our home movies are anywhere between 3 to 5 minutes long. So to shoot a 3 to 5 minute movie, the first thing is to write the script. That usually takes me a couple days to write the script. And then we pass out the script to all the family members, and they put their input into it, like, oh, I'd rather see this, or I'd rather do that. Or a lot of times it's, oh, I have this great dress, or I have this great costume that I can use. Can we fit that in somewhere? So by the time you're done actually getting a script, it usually takes me anywhere between 2 weeks to a month to get a script that we all say, okay, this is locked down, this is the script we're going to do. Once you do that, then we get everybody together and we film in a day. So we literally start when people start showing up, like if it's an afternoon picnic, people start showing up around 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And we're usually done by the time dessert rolls around. So say 6 o'clock, so I'm talking, 4 hours to actually shoot the movie. Once the movie is in the can, I take it and I start editing it, and depending on how complex the editing is, anywhere between 2 weeks to 4 weeks, if I have to do a lot of special effect shots, and also mix the sound or clean the sound up, because a lot of times we didn't get the proper sound. And then I also, every now and then, I'll have to shoot like close-ups that we didn't get, or I'd have to do what we call pickup shots, where we miss something and I realize, oh, okay, I got to go back and do that. So I'll literally drive to my brother-in-law's house and I'll say, hey, I need you to pick up this popsicle that we were using. And so we'll have to recreate that scene or whatever for a like extreme close-up. So bottom line, to answer your question, I would say it probably takes a good 2 months to 3 months to actually put together a 5-minute family movie.
I'd like to give a big thank you to Mr. Riti for letting me interview him about his family's movies and how much he loves his job being North's TV and media teacher.
Fascinating insight into the power of communication. Now, while our teachers shape the day-to-day experience, every major decision, the vision, the direction, the core values, comes from the principal, Dr. Turner. His job as a principal has the biggest impact on our school's identity and future goals for the students, in addition to addressing the issue of school absenteeism rates and efforts to improve them.
Chronic absenteeism is a big problem in schools today. Depending on the state, absentee rates are up to 30 to 40%. I will be talking with the head of the school, Dr. Dashan Turner, about how attendance in the building itself have been improving. Going forward, we will discuss these topics in greater detail. What is your favorite part of being a principal?
My favorite part about being the principal is this right here. Having students to apply what they're learning from the classroom, like in the setting. That's one of my favorites. The other thing that I greatly appreciate is the relationships that I have been able to build, not just with students, but with families too. I mean, the giving families and kids the opportunity to get to know me, to get to know them on a personal level, and cheer them on in school and outside of school is, I actually love that part of it.
Since you've been here, how has the school changed or improved?
So I think we've changed in a lot of different ways. Some of the things I can't speak on at this very moment, but academically our students are performing comparable to the other high schools in the area. But with regards to our English performance on standardized tests, our performance in math on standardized tests, and even in science. And so we've seen improvement in that space, as well as I know one of the questions you plan on talking to me about is attendance. So we can dive into that when we get to that question. The third thing where we've improved in, a lot of students don't know about this, but our suspension rates have also declined, in some cases by more than 50%. When you compare month to month, I mean time of year to recent, or to past years, I should say. And so we've seen a great improvement in that area. The culture and the climate is much better in this space, and so I'm proud of all of those changes.
Administrators help change the school every day. Needless to say, the school improves from these changes, as well as academically, the school has improved as a whole. You have stated in the past that the absentee rate in North Stafford is a concern. What is the current absentee rate for each class and for the school as a whole?
We've seen a decline in attendance percentages. I shouldn't say it that way. Not a decline in attendance percentages, but an improvement in the number of students who are missing school more regularly. Particularly in our 9th grade students overall, in our 10th grade students overall, and 11th grade students overall. Their attendance percentages are better compared to previous years. As it pertains to potentially maybe some of the subgroups and our senior class is missing a lot of school. And we, unfortunately, that seems to run true in comparison to previous years. Seniors miss school for whatever reasons they have, but some of those reasons are they work nights, they have to take care of their younger siblings, and so considering that, sometimes it could be expected, but I genuinely would prefer that all of the kids are in school every day on time, to class on time. It's a critical trait when you look at your ability to transition into the workforce. Can you make it to work on time? Can you take care of tasks on time? And so I try to push that message across to students, with the hopes that they understand and see where this is going to come into play as they transition out of North Stafford.
I have a follow-up question. What are you implementing to help with the absentee rate in the school, and is it working?
So one of the things that we've instituted this year has been the slogan "Strive for Less Than 5," where we want to encourage all of our students to. We understand that students have to miss school, right? But we want you to keep that number below 5. If we can keep the number below 5, we anticipate hopefully dropping our chronic absenteeism rate by anywhere from 10 to 15%. But that's a lofty goal, right? When the vast majority of our students miss probably 7 to 8 days of school each year. As it pertains to the overall performance of the school, at this time we have missed a little less than 6,000 days as a school, which is still a lot. It's a lot of days, with only having about 1,900 kids in the school. So some of the things that we've done to kind of support improved attendance is, one, we have frequent student recognition. Over the course of the year, we've recognized students who have had perfect attendance and students who have attended school 95% of the time. Also, too, we've instituted block parties, and then at our block parties, we have recognized students who had improved attendance in comparison to last year's attendance rate. And I think we were able to recognize about 150 kids at that block party. We intend on having block parties, so to speak, at the end of every quarter, because we want to keep attendance on the minds of all of our students. The third thing that we've done is I frequently send home a newsletter about once to twice a month, where the very first article in my newsletter is going to be about attendance, ways in which we've improved attendance and ways in which we can support attendance. And then one of the other last things that we have done this year, which is similar to last year, is we do attendance telethons, where we identify the top 150 to 200 kids that are struggling with attendance. We bring together volunteers and staff members to make telephone calls to those families in support of improving their child's attendance, ways in which that we can support them. We want to know more about what the barriers are that are preventing those kids from coming to schools, and how we can help them develop a plan around attendance. That's been very successful, as well as our school counselors. They have student success groups where they meet with students who have attendance concerns to help them develop those plans and review better practices that may assist them in improving their attendance.
Even with the steady rate of absences with seniors, general attendance gradually decreases the number of students absent with said implemented plans and activities. What is a word of advice you would give to students to help better themselves in school?
So, funny story, I shared this with my daughter the other day, just for positive mindset, right? And I think life is gonna life. I mean, you're gonna have good days, you're gonna have bad days, right? You're gonna have hurdles, you're gonna have challenges, and you're not gonna be able to get away from that. There's no person in life who has not faced some level of challenge, and they have not had to use some level of resiliency or some resilient skill to get through. So I tell my kids, my children, stack good days. You know, you want to make sure that you're doing the best job that you can to just put good day after good day after good day on top of each other, right? And be proud of that. And be proud of that. Celebrate those things as much as you possibly can, because you're going to run into an issue. Something's going to come up that's going to potentially deter you from having what you believe to be a good day. And if you have believed in yourself, if you've worked hard to stack those good days, that one struggle is not going to take you off of, man, I should be proud of myself. I should celebrate myself. Because you genuinely should, man. I talk to myself, and it's gonna sound really crazy, but I talk to myself from a positive space every day, all the time. Every day, all the time. Every day, all the time, because I control the way in which I see the world and the way in which I think. Life's gonna life. You're gonna have things that are gonna come up, but you got to make sure you keep yourself uplifted. So if there's anything I want to tell a student, keep yourself uplifted, man. Don't let your mindset go with the flow of somebody else. Don't let anybody do that. Never. You know. And if you can do that, if you can stay positive, if you could appreciate the good days that you stack, you're gonna be okay. You're gonna be fine. So that's what I would say.
Absenteeism is still a big problem around North Systems, and like many others, Dr. Turner and the administration is helping to bring a stop to it. With the kind and encouraging words from Dr. Turner, you can't go wrong. Students are beginning to feel more supported as new initiatives roll out, and these positive changes are already making a noticeable impact on overall attendance.
Great message from the principal for the vision of the impacts of good school attendance for the students. Finally, we check in with Deputy Allen to see how he came to be the school deputy and his passions in making the school feel safe.
Hello, North Nation. Today I'll be interviewing our North Nation Research Officer, Deputy Allen, about how people can approach him to discuss the role of a research officer in our school, especially at North Stafford High School. I have like 5 questions for you. How long have you been a research officer here in North Stafford?
So this is my 4th year here, but I've been a deputy for 9 years.
How long have you become a research officer?
I was approached by one of my supervisors now asking me did I want to be one. I had some interest in being a school resource officer, but I was like, well, if it comes, it comes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But he asked me did I want to be, was I still interested? I say yeah, so.
What does a research officer do?
Well, number one, safety and security, obviously, of the building. Making sure that everybody is safe and feels safe coming to school every day. I'm a resource to, students, teachers, staff members, or whatever, if they have questions about anything, obviously law enforcement related, but life, just somebody to talk to if they feel like they can't talk to somebody else, then that's what I do.
What are some challenges you face as a research officer?
Obviously, because we're dealing with juveniles, children, so you have to approach certain things differently when you're dealing with students versus adults. So I wouldn't say it's a challenge, but it's just a different approach when it comes to certain things in school. And obviously, I'm a guest in school, so I have to play that role too. So yeah.
What do you want the students here in North to know about you?
About me? Yeah. That I care, regardless of the uniform. I'm still here for you all. Like if it wasn't for the students here, I wouldn't be here. And then I'm approachable. I mean, anything you need, talk to me about, whether it has to do with law enforcement or it's just you got to get something off your chest, or if you got a question about something, you can come talk to me. Like I'm very approachable.
What are some trainings you need to do as a research officer?
Obviously, we all are certified law enforcement officers, so we all go through a 6 months academy. We do go through SRO Basic, which is School Resource Officer Basic program, just to know the ins and outs of what it is to be a school resource officer. Some of your middle school SROs and elementary SROs, they go through DARE school, which we don't teach DARE in high school, but they have to go through that training too, which is a 2-week program too. But that's basically as long as you have a basic knowledge of how to be an SRO. It's just you get that, and then you come in here and sometimes it's like I'm still learning stuff every day, but yeah, it's not anything too strenuous.
Wow, thanks to Deputy Allen, people can now approach him anytime during school hours or lunch hours to talk with him.
Assuring us insight from our deputy, wrapping up this episode of 20 Minutes. It's clear our school is run by passionate staff dedicated to student success. We'll be back next episode with more stories from across campus. Until then, I'm Athiana LaRose. Have a blessed week.